Welcome to U.S. Classic Muscle Cars. Enjoy the videos.
Hi, my name is John, and this is my 1967 Mercury Cougar GT. I've had this car for about 7 years. A lot of work had been done on the car when I initially purchased it, but I've added quite a bit to it. I took a very hot motor, a 351 Windsor that was stroked out, and I added a supercharger to it. I'm going to pop the hood here. If you come on into the motor, you can see that I've got a blower on top of there. It's also a standard air conditioning, came with the car, power brakes, power steering. Makes about 500 horsepower at the motor. It's got pop-up headlights. We put in a new, if you come back to the motor, we put in a new height suspension. We cut out the shock towers to improve the front steering. We put in rack and pinion steering on it. If you come around to the side here, you'll see torque thrust wheels. And then if we look at the interior, I'll open the door for you.
This is a nice car.
Thank you. Well, so we set it up to race, although we don't actually race it. I've got racing seats. I've got a roll cage. I've got a 3-speed racing transmission with overdrive, new gauge instrumentation. So it's fully set up to go to the track if I decided to do that.
And what do you think it would do at the track?
Probably somewhere in the 11s or 12s. That's just a guess. Have a lot of fun with it. Take it to a lot of car shows. Usually win a couple trophies a year in the Rusto mod. For the 50th anniversary of the Mercury Cougar a couple years ago, we had a car show at the parking lot of Ford Motor Company in Detroit. And it was one of 112 Cougars altogether, which probably hasn't happened since they rolled out of the factory in the late 60s.
I like this.
It has the sequential tail lights, which have been copied by the recent Mustangs. But the original cars that had this were the Cougar and the Thunderbird from Ford.
This is nice. Now, how did you find this car? How did you always want this one?
So I purchased this car from Volo. They have a very large selection of classic vehicles. And I wanted a car in the late 60s. And I looked at Mustangs, I looked at Chevelles, I looked at Olds 442s, but this was the car that really caught my fancy, and I've had fun with it ever since.
I think we have everything. Say thanks for watching.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Did we leave?
So I want to get the URL of
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, go to YouTube.
See what time it is. Again, thank you. One of the things that Cars and Cops is providing again today is another free car wash. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Next year we're going to just try to have it just sunshiny. Again, we have our food vendors in the back. We have a couple authors over here off to my left. We're here, and thank you for coming out. I know when we put this together, you're always worried about nobody's going to show up. But if turn around and everybody give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for coming out here battling the little weather. Last year, it was rainy and cold. We had to go with one or the other, so we let the cold go away. So next year, we'll see what else we can do. Again, Bert opened his doors here graciously. This is what we have here, and thank you for coming up. Bert, a few words, please.
As Tony said, this year you get a free car wash and no cold. A lot of people have signed up, and we like the fact that this is a family affair. We love the fact that there's kids here, and it transcends, the love of the automobile transcends all levels of economic background, culture, race. It's just magical in terms of who's here, what you drive, and what you love. So please enjoy the rest of the day, and hopefully you can keep the rain away.
Thank you, Bert. All right, so now I'll leave you be. Enjoy. The judges are still walking about and still determining, but they've been busy for almost 2 hours now. So I think it's about 2:30 we'll have final results. But in the meantime, enjoy. Have fun, everybody. Yep, same with the wrap.